Hello, hello, hello. How are y'all doing today? It is William Davis, our Dub D from A.P.C Photography. Welcome to our live stream today. So, today we're going to talk about, do you need a technical advisor if you are doing a live event at a venue that has their own AV team? The answer, in my opinion only, is yes. And here's the reason why I say yes. First and foremost, it's your vision, and not always do the venues understand your vision. Now, what I mean by they don't understand your vision is they do approximately 100 to 150 events a year. So they have 100 to 150 different visions coming in the door to kind of get what they want done. And I think that's cool. I think it's a really good thing that they have that many people coming in every year. And I think that's a very positive piece for their world. Now, that means that you are one of 100 to 150 people that they are working with, including their staff, which is another 2 to 5 other people. You don't have somebody who's your advisor really there. You have someone who is trying to fit you in as one of 3 that week to 5 that week, which is good. I mean, they're going to be there. They're professional, been through a lot of repetitions, but it's not always the greatest because they're not going to be able to answer questions exactly to what you need. And this is where having a technical advisor and paying for one throughout the process is worth it. A couple of things. First off, like today, we're doing a live stream. Now, this live stream looks like I'm using a camera, like a webcam or something like that, which I am not. I'm actually using my Samsung S25 Ultra with a handheld microphone, an auxiliary hookup, which is done through the USB, and that's how I'm getting my audio. The reason why I did this example is that I could show you where you could be in multiple rooms or other locations and having another stream coming in to your live event, and you would want to make sure that everything coordinates well. So we could be bringing me in for a portion during your break period, say if you're doing an auction and other things to discuss why we should be doing this. Here's some of the video materials and all the rest. And having a technical advisor that knows how to do that and integrate that with the audio system they have there is super important, because maybe you don't want that sound from the person coming in to your live stream to go to your live event. They may have understood that in the conversation and may still add it in, or they may keep the audio that's coming from the event and this going into your live stream, which is probably not something you want, or in your broadcast you're doing for later. That's one thing. Another is, say, for example, you're going to have 5 presenters. You're going to have a moment where you're going to have someone on stage and all the rest. You want to make sure that that's all integrated properly and that all the sound staging and everything is done for you. I understand a lot of times they bring in engineers who are really good, but once again, these are contractors. Let me explain what that means by that. You'll have a contractor that comes in once in a blue moon. When I say blue moon, that means 2 to 4 times a month, and they contract in to do live events for them. For example, audio engineers, cam ops, and video switchers and technical directors generally get contracted in to handle those events, and they are really good at doing whatever you give them, as long as whoever was talking to them ahead of time gave them the right information. And if they cross the wires by accident, and this does happen as to what the needs are, and you come in that day and you're like, well, I thought we were going to be ready for this, it can hurt you. So what we do, having a technical advisor would be a very powerful tool on your side that can ensure that what you have to focus on is just getting the event going, getting your singers in the right place, get your presenters, get your speakers, get your keynotes, all in the right place. Whereas your technical advisor will come through and be your liaison between you and the staff there, who is really good staff. Don't get me wrong. They're great staff at what they do. They're phenomenal. They just don't always get the correct information, or the information they get could be a mix of 2 or 3 different events that are coming up. So, for example, one of the events that I worked with, we had the whole weekend, we were working basically the same RF. And RF is just wireless microphones. I said basically, not fully. So we had an auctioneer that comes in who is a very soft-spoken but very good auctioneer that gets a lot of work done. But, they're very good at moving people without having to scream through their auctioneering. And then we had another auctioneer who likes to do high presence, which some people can call that screaming, but that's just raised voice with actuation. And then we had another auctioneer that was coming in who is in between the two. So likes to use soft voice to draw people in and likes to use extenuated voice to get them to really like jump into it and get that last little bit, when you get that extra 10,000, extra 15,000. And they're very good at that. But all that was done with RF. Two of the auctioneers liked handheld microphones. One liked earpiece microphones. And turns out the person who has the strongest voice likes the earpiece microphone. Well, setting up an earpiece microphone for a super strong voice takes a whole different setup than the other two mic setups, which isn't a bad thing or a good thing. It's just an is thing. And having a good technical advisor on there who can go through and make sure those settings are set up properly makes a huge difference. Now, the question comes down to is, why would I need that if I've got a great sound engineer? Frankly put, they've been doing audio for 10 other events that week or 4 other events. And sometimes they'll get their settings kind of messed up, and it's not on purpose, or they will think this should work great in this matrix like this, where it could just be that we just need the individual microphone set up that's not inside the matrix. It's only going to be for the auctioneer, and that's the only time we're going to use it. So should we throw it in the matrix or should we not? And that also has to go with how they were educated. So you may have someone who was educated in the 90s on audio and someone who was educated in 2014. Their two approaches for audio are entirely different, from matrix to DCAs to using buses to having microphones and having bands separated into different groups. It really is. I mean, there's some standards, but there's also some things that are subtly different. And being able to get that across in the language that they understand and what you need is going to make a huge difference in your end product. Also, you may want to record it. And that is a huge, huge benefit if you can speak the language, have a technical advisor to help. So here's an example. We were doing panels. So what was it? 2024 we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 27 panels in 2024. In those panels, we had judges, we had multiple people who were coming up on stage. We had anywhere between 3 to 7 panelists and 4 judges. They wanted each individual audio track recorded at the same time. They wanted a mix master or a master audio. And we were able to produce that because we had someone who understood how to use a DAW. Now, a technical director can come in and just be there to run a DAW for you. And a DAW is a digital audio workstation. And what that really is the ability to take all the sound that's coming into the digital board that you're using, or an analog board that has a digital converter built into it that lets you separate the channels, go onto a computer, use a program to individualize each channel and put the name on it and record the audio separately. Here are some of the benefits of that. For example, if you had a huge panel, well, not a huge panel. Let's just say you have a panel of 7. We've got panels like 40, so let's say a panel of 7. And someone said an amazing point at the exact same time someone did a little bit of talk over. And that happens by accident. Say, for example, someone blurted out, oh, but we could do this with this project, and it would really make project A and B gel. And at the exact same time, the other person's finishing talking about project A, going, project A is going to be finishing with this. We're just looking at solutions. And the other person goes, well, we have a great solution for it. And they overlapped each other a little bit. It's very, very hard to separate that audio if it's just done off of master. If it's done with individual track recording, then you have the option of really getting more of that in B-roll later and using it for materials for your presentation or getting in more funding to do your next large event. And that's a huge advantage of having a technical advisor who understands all these different aspects, because they can make that happen for you. Now, why do I bring this up again? It's to be a huge positive for you. We want every event to have the most success. And when you don't have all the components in complete control with you, it's best to have someone who knows how those components work to help you get what you want in the end result. Or we just did an event. Man, I need to get a hold of Mr. A. He's cool and all that. I got to get a hold of him today. I need to call him. We just did an event for them. We had their videographer coming out. What he was going to do was just use a shotgun microphone, try to get some audio, and call it good. Turns out he had the exact same recorder I have now, which is the most phenomenal piece on the planet, which is the Zoom H1 XLR. I don't for $150. This is gonna like be part of everybody's kit. Zoom was smart on this. They just know it's gonna be part of the kit, and it's gonna bring people into their Zoom. Powerful tool. And he was like, "Yeah, that'd be kind of cool if I could get good audio." I said, "Man, I got you. I got an extra bus here. I can throw all your audio on. I got an extra channel out. I can throw all the audio from the event onto there." He was super happy. And having a technical advisor who can help work in between the audio engineer and extra people that came in and videographers who are working for other people in the presentation to get either audio, video, or other from the event. And then, of course, you have an added plus. Say, for example, we get videographer A for panelist D. They let you know at the end of the day, they would love to have their own individual material. You can say yes and say, "Hey, you know what? We can do that for you." And if, frankly put, it's going to be a small fee. It doesn't have to be a large fee, but it could pay for some of the things you're looking to do, or it could just be a way of adding some extra donation to your whatever you're doing, or extra funding back to it. And so you could charge them $100, $200, $500, $1,000, whatever you want to charge them. And all you do is just say, "Hey, you're my technical advisor. How do we make this happen?" And I say yes or no, or if it's possible. And then I deal with the technical side of it, because you may not know the right term to use. And in this case here, it was just, "Can you give me a out from your mixer board? My preference would be pre-EQ'd, and I would like it to be a single channel." How they perform that is up to them, because that's going into an audio recorder. Now, had that been going into a live stream, I would be a little bit more specific. So, for example, if we had a small television station in the area say, "Hey, I would love to have the ability to stream this event, and we're going to be using YouTube for it," I'll be a little bit more specific in that case there, because then I will tell them, "I would love all the audio from the event, but can we get that as 2 requests? Number 1, we're only doing the microphones, so if you can give me that out, just the microphones. We do not need the sound from the music and the events and things like that, because we could end up losing the live stream. And number 2, if possible, I always ask for a simple bus instead of a mix." And the reason why I ask for that is if they're adjusting the mix there at the live event, they can accidentally readjust everything in the stream. Not on purpose, because the stream wasn't the primary. The stream was just a secondary we added on as a fee. And having the ability to have them do that and leave that bus completely alone, doesn't matter what they do with the matrix, it really won't affect the bus. That's a big, big benefit. Now, we're going to be calling it a day here. It's been like 14 minutes into the stream. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable getting in front of the cameras again. It's been a while since I've been in front of them. And I think I took like 3 weeks off because I've been busy, but I'm back. I'm still kind of busy, but I'm back. I will catch y'all later. Thank you for watching the stream. I appreciate you. QR code, visit the website, A.P.C. Photography. Hope you like the logo. If you don't like the logo, let me know. I might come up with a new one. It just basically shows what we do. We do video, we do sound, and we do live streaming. Whatever you need for that and any aspect of that and any combination of that, we're here to help you. Take care. Bye-bye.